Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana could not maintain a position above the $190 breakout level. So that means we have reintroduced the yellow support zone. There are two support zones. One is a micro support zone, which is very fragile. One is the main support zone still. And it's clear that some kind of a pullback has started. And we want to talk about these support levels that are now relevant. Firstly, I'm still watching here an Elliott wave triangle that has come, well, I've basically reintroduced the old count given that Solana could not maintain above $190. Now, some might say, but the D wave cannot go above the B wave of a triangle. Well, it's a bit of a gray area in Elliott wave. I don't like it, but it's possible. Might be a bit of a special case here because if we, on the daily chart, you'll see this is only a wick. It's only a wick. Therefore not so meaningful. Crypto is volatile, and in Elliott wave it is technically acceptable that a D wave, if it only goes a little bit above the B, it can still be a D wave of a triangle. Alright, so it is possible we are now forming an E wave pullback with support between $134.19 and $162.25, and then from there we could see the next rally to the upside. Okay, so I've reintroduced that support area. We just need to see how this support or this pullback now develops. There is an immediate accelerated bullish scenario which allows for a more direct move to the upside, possibly to 215 to 229 next. It could turn into something more bullish if, for example, also Bitcoin chooses the more directly bullish scenario, because, really I can only start to confirm that we're in a deeper pullback if we break below the upper support area. Going to the 1 hour chart, you see that it is possible to interpret this move up as a 1-2 setup in white. And we're now in a wave 2 pullback zone. This is obviously a very, very fragile one, and I'm not confident about it. But the last rally was in 3 waves. So my interpretation is it's a possible wave 1. A overshooting B wave, C wave down in this wave 2, and we can watch for support between $179.72 and $170.51. A break below $170.51 could actually lead to something that you might call a head and shoulders pattern that could develop here, with a neckline at $165.70, which also should offer some support, but left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, and then we could go down here, and then we can watch the yellow support zone. I mean, this is the main support zone on the chart at the moment. Something more bearish, I would only think about that really below $134. And we just need to see now how the structure of the pullback is developing. There is, especially as long as we're holding $170.51, a reasonable directly bullish, accelerated bullish scenario as shown here in white. As I said, this could just form a wave 5 of C of a larger B wave before we see the next deeper pullback, but this is prone to changes. Okay, it could even develop something more bullish. The purpose of this accelerated count is just there is something more bullish that could unfold from here, and it takes a break below $170.51, yeah, in other words, to suggest that a deeper pullback is unfolding. Until we break below $170.51, there isn't even a signal that a deeper pullback is unfolding. I hope that's clear. And therefore I'm observing a micro support area, which is of course a bit more fragile, and the main support region here. Solana has been very strong in recent weeks and moved from the lower, let's say the lower boundary line. I've taken that off now, we don't need it anymore, but there was a lower boundary line at $119 off the range to the top of the range to 190, even tried to break out, failed. So the range is still intact in my view. And now in this pullback, we just have to watch these support areas, yeah? So in the white count, as I already said, this would be a flat correction. That means wave 1 likely top there in white, and this is an A, B, C. I can bring that onto the chart as a micro count, just to show you. A overshooting B wave, C wave, this would be in white. And however, if the next rally doesn't lead to a breakout, then it is most likely going to be this count: A wave down, B wave up, C wave down in yellow. So that means, in other words, if the next rally is simply a corrective B wave, maybe even, well, ideally would stay below the Monday high, then we can watch for a C wave down. Especially if after the top of the B wave, or the assumed top, a 5-wave move down occurs, which would be wave 1 of C. So this should give you all the relevant levels to watch. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.